Welcome back to SJU on this amazing Friday. We did it. We made it through the week. And if we make it through this show, we will be alive by the end of Friday. Good luck to us all. Sitting with me right now, Emma Fyffe in the house.
Hello. It's great to be here in the midst of, all this chaos and construction.
And like, you guys don't even know. You can't possibly know what's happening.
There are people outside working with Bane masks.
Yeah. Like, I walked in and was like, should I be in a hazmat suit?
Yeah, there's like the whole air is full of like this white dust. It's fumey. And like I walked in and there's like a guy working with like a mask on. And I'm like, oh.
That's Dan Murrell. You guys already know
a little loopy. The
there was tape on the door. I tried to get into the studio.
I know.
It was taped closed.
I know. I was here nice and early, and there was literally a piece of tape that was like I needed scissors to get in.
Everything's fine.
You know what that means, though? Nothing will stop us.
True.
Moo ha ha ha. And you know who else will not be stopped? The A-Force, because yes, our badass female superheroes from Marvel are probably teaming up. We'll definitely talk about that. We're also going to talk about Joe joining the NBA. That's not exactly what happened, but I'll definitely leave you guys with that tease.
Wow.
You didn't see that story? No. We have some amazing trailers to break down as well. It's kind of like when it rains, it pours with trailers. Mm-hmm. They always come in threes. Jungle Cruise, Onward, and Charlie's Angels, all of which I cannot wait to discuss with you guys. But let's start with this possible A-Force movie. This is via Variety. During a sit-down interview at the Power of Women cover shoot, Captain Marvel herself was asked if the female film... What'd she drop?
I don't know.
The chairs are literally falling apart.
The chair is falling apart. I thought at first that Roxy threw her pen, but then I looked.
From the chair.
Here's what a piece from the chair dropped on us?
Yeah.
Well, here's what happened. Brie Larson heard us talking about this and was like, ooh, this is true. Confirm it via shaky chair. Yes.
Brie Larson is actually Captain Marvel, in case you guys were wondering.
Yeah, very true.
Doesn't play her in a movie.
But it's been discussed a few times about this. After Endgame, everybody was talking about this amazing scene. What's going to happen? So she did talk about it. She says, it is something. Well, what do you mean truly discussed? Because they were asking if this movie had been truly discussed, which is kind of a vague term. So she was speaking to the correspondent from Variety, Elizabeth Wagmeister, who followed up with You Tell Me. So Brie Larson decided to tell her. She says, I will say that a lot of female cast members from Marvel walked up to Kevin and we were like, that means she's one of them. And we were like, we are in this together. We want to do this. What that means, I have no idea. Sure. I'm not in charge of the future of Marvel, but it is something that we're really passionate about and we love. And I feel like if enough people out in the world talk about how much they want it, maybe it'll happen. So Emma, Dan, we are people out in the world.
We are people out in the world.
Do we want to talk about how much we really want this? Is it something that after seeing Endgame, you were like, okay, let's do it, full force, we're ready?
It's interesting because I think there's been a lot of discussion around the scene, both in Endgame and also in Infinity War and the fight against Proxima Midnight, where basically there is this aspect of all of these women characters coming together where you go, this is a little pandering, but it's also extremely awesome, in my opinion. I think that for me, what really resonated with me and something that I certainly wouldn't mind seeing if they did do some sort of A-Force movie, again, is this idea that in general, not just in fiction, but just in life, that women favor collaboration and cooperation. So it's that whole idea in that scene in Endgame where they come together and they're like, she can't do it alone. She doesn't have to, because like all these women got her back. So that to me is fun. As far as A-Force goes, I'm not super duper familiar with it, but my understanding of it is that it kind of exists. I mean, as many comic book stories do, sort of exists independently in its own kind of continuity, universe, etc., wherein these women are all like sort of leaders of their own various like civilizations and whatnot. And like the male characters are still in it. You certainly still have heroes and things like that are familiar, but it's like a, sort of what if these women were in charge of everything and how does that affect kind of the shape of the world? And I think that could be an interesting story to see on screen.
What do you think, Dan?
It's all in the premise.
Yeah.
Because I kind of agree with you, particularly the one in Infinity War. I thought seemed pretty organic. To
Yeah,
what was
I agree.
Endgame, I was split because I was like, that's really cool, but also
Yes.
I was just a bit like, well, that's a bit on the nose.
Yeah.
And just where it was placed, it just seemed like we're going to stop and do this thing, and then we're going to keep. It wasn't the sentiment at all. It was just the execution of it. So it's all execution dependent. I think if you come up with a great idea that can bring these characters together in a way that doesn't seem like cynical, then I'm all for it. I mean, these are some of the better, a lot of the newer characters that they've introduced, like Valkyrie and Shuri. Captain Marvel, obviously, is a huge one, but a lot of the fan favorites have been a lot of their newer female characters.
Yeah.
So I think if you can, and these are great actors, Letitia Wright and Tessa Thompson. Let's get Michelle Fyffe in there.
That's what I'm saying.
Lilly.
Listen, I just want like a mom and daughter series movie, whatever, about Evangeline Lilly and Michelle Pfeiffer. As Hope and Janet Van Dyne.
You got a lot of great actors that I think have not had their own, other than Captain Marvel, have not had their own solo films. And I think if you can get them together, that's a great potential mixture of personalities. It's just to find a great concept.
We've heard Kevin Feige talk about this a lot, how he wants an all-female superhero movie, which is the part that makes me a little nervous.
I totally agree with you, Roxy, because I think that, and again, this is me saying, yes, I do want this, but it does ultimately boil down to the execution. Just tell a great story where all of the primary characters are women. And I worry sometimes that when you do get into the territory of it's an all this thing movie, and it doesn't have to just be women, it could be an all people who wear glasses movie, just as sort of like an arbitrary statement of what it boils down to is, are you telling a compelling story? So just write a good story and then make all the characters women.
Right. It just seems to me anytime anybody makes a blanket statement like this, like I want an all women movie, the ... after is because that'd be cool.
Right.
And it's like, well, what about we think of the movie first and then who are the strongest characters to put in this movie? So that's made me nervous since he said that. Again, not saying I don't want this, because I love that scene.
Of course.
And speaking of the scene that we talked about from Endgame, actually Brie Larson did comment on that day on set. She said it was just a great day to get to be with all those women for the day, and you get this feeling of like almost a little bit of naughtiness because it's a secret and none of us can talk about it, that it felt like we were part of this like coven working together for this goal. They're a bunch of witches. I love that.
Yeah.
It was an opportunity for us to share and hang out, and as many people know, a lot of time women aren't working together. It's kind of been this new breath of fresh air for us in our industry, that there's more female ensemble films, which has allowed us the opportunity to really communicate with one another. So we get so excited and feel so much energy when you get to be around your peers and share stories. I think that the fact that they all came to Feige and said this, again, with all the professionalism I have going on with chair breaking, might as well have my phone beep. Good job, Rox, today. With all of this, them going together, that makes me feel more confident in this move, because if it's coming from them, if it's coming from the women who are on set, who felt that vibe, and they were like, ooh, we want to do this movie, that makes me feel better about this.
Yeah, and I think that, again, it's what Dan was talking about. It's like, we want to do this movie, let's reframe that to, we want to tell this story. And then I'm totally on board. And again, I'm totally on board with the concept. I want to see this, but like the execution, it is important.
Do you guys think that this would be a good way to get some of the Disney Plus characters involved, considering that She-Hulk is going to have a series over there, or maybe some of I know that Marvel TV is no longer going to be Marvel TV anymore.
Bring over Quake. Bring over May, Agent May.
Is that what you want?
Yeah, hell yeah. Are you kidding me? Like,
I think that'd be cool.
Particularly those two characters from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I think they've been criminally underused.
Yes.
I think. Particularly Agent May, like, come on.
Yeah. She doesn't get to do anything.
Yeah. She also looks the best doing action. Like, she kills the action sequences, which is one of the reasons I would love to see her on the big screen for that.
There's a great story to be told, I think.
Yes, I agree.
My concern is even more so lately, is it's hard for me a lot of times when I'm watching a lot of the movies, particularly from Disney, which is that I agree with the sentiment of a lot of what they're saying, but they have no finesse.
No finesse. And
whatsoever.
And so much of it, too, is 100%. Like, it feels like they're just trying to make stuff that fits in this mold of what, like, a Marvel is according to Disney. And which isn't to say that's a bad thing. They've made some great films, but I would like to see some more nuanced storytelling.
I don't think it's cynical.
No,
I think it's genuine, but it's done in a way that makes it feel cynical. And as you said, pandery. So I just feel like if they can go back to, if you look at, and it's not just because they both star women, but it's because they were the two respective first solo films for each of these respective franchises. But Wonder Woman versus Captain Marvel, for me, the big difference, Wonder Woman is a film that I really liked. Captain Marvel's a film that I was not a huge fan of.
I liked it.
I felt like part of it was that Patty Jenkins and Wonder Woman did such a better job of covering, at least establishing Diana's character and how she fits in the world, not just as a hero, but as a woman. In a far more subtle way than...
I agree, and I think that it's like I was talking about was sort of like the Marvel mold of like Captain Marvel existed to fit into the MCU. Whereas, sure, we'd seen Wonder Woman in Batman vs. Superman. I was very impressed with Gal Gadot in that film. I thought, oh man, like, I mean, of all people, she and Ben Affleck had really interesting on-screen chemistry, and I was immediately interested in her. But it didn't, and yes, she needed to fit into whatever DC's doing, but it also felt like it was able to exist on its own, and that Patty Jenkins was like, I'm just going to make a movie about this woman, about this incredibly interesting character that I really like.
So looping back to Marvel for a second, what do you guys, when do you guys think that this could take place? And is there something that you definitely would want to see happen? Is there something that would really sell you on this movie, either somebody starring in it or a time period that it takes place in, or a big bad that we're going after?
I mean, it'd have to be in a few years.
It would have to be a few years.
Because,
I feel like I'm sort of on board with, like, Captain Marvel takes everybody on a space adventure. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that might be fun. Just take it out of Earth completely.
You just bump into the Guardians.
Sure, absolutely.
Like, throw peace sign.
Yeah.
Just
love it.
Drive by.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah, we got to pick up Gamora.
Yeah.
You got to swing by
and Nebula.
They're going to find Gamora.
Yes.
Captain Marvel and Nebula lead a mission to find Gamora.
With Shuri and Valkyrie and Okoye.
I'm
in.
Realistically, we're...
Scarlet Witch, maybe, depending on if she's in a sitcom or I don't know what the hell's going on.
WandaVision, my friend. I don't get that one. When do we think, like, 5 years is kind of the quickest this could come to be?
Yeah. So,
we can wait. We're a patient bunch, right, Internet? Right? We're all so patient. Yeah. Speaking of that bell, guys, go ahead and don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications. Epic job. And we have tons of stuff going on always on the channel, guys. Something that I love that you and I are still sitting here doing this together, because power levels, guys. Power levels. The amount of comments still that we're getting.
I was joking, like, oh wow, both Emmas are here today.
Both Emmas. Hey, that is the nicest compliment I could possibly get. But the first new episode of Power Levels is out now. The animation is absolutely badass. It's stunning. They did such an amazing job with it. It's on the Screen Junkies channel. We found an actual physicist to do real science on some very important questions and fake stuff, but in our hearts, it's really real. That's who we are. It's a new episode for Batman v Batman v Batman. Maybe that's what they should have made the Batman v Superman movie.
It's just a bunch of
Batman v Batman. Yep. So watch it. Let us know how you guys feel. Tell your friends. All that great stuff. Also, this weekend, Movie Fight is back. Watch out for it this Saturday. Dan, what can you tell us?
It's a barn burner.
Ooh, it's a barn burner.
It comes down to the wire, and it's a lot of fun. There's like side fights that happen during the show. It's not like actual fights.
No,
no, it's a fun one.
Speaking of actual fights, to this day, I still have a very hard time saying that word. Barn. The Bostonian in me really struggles with that one.
Wicked bad bunny.
Well, it was just like, it was a barn. So,
Yeah, exactly.
So you know what I mean. It's a barn burner. Anyway, well, I didn't need to out myself there, but I did because I love you guys. And the links for all this stuff is in the description below. Also, if you've been wondering since the start of this video what I was talking about with Joe Starr joining the NBA, well, I didn't tell you guys the truth, but it wasn't a complete lie because Joe would like me to read this verbatim for you guys. Have you ever wondered if Joe has what it takes to join the NBA?
No, I haven't.
Why would you ever wonder that? That's ridiculous. Anyway, the NBA was testing people's jumps at NYCC, so New York Comic-Con, and Joe found some cosplayers to give him the Coach Carter speech he needed to prove he's got hops. I don't know if anybody says hops like that anymore, but let's take this time because I really want to check this out to see this clip from Joe at New York Comic-Con.
It's Joe. I'm at New York Comic-Con. Guys, I've got a lot of dreams, but did you know that one of those dreams is hoop dreams? The NBA's got an activation on the floor, testing your vertical. I'm gonna go find out if I can get above the rim, but I'm a little nervous, so I'm gonna ask people on the con floor to give me a little Coach Carter action and pump me up. I'm about to go do this NBA thing, right? I'm not really feeling it. We're asking people to just give me like their best, like inspirational basketball coach speech.
Well, from what I see already, you don't got a lot of meat on you.
No, I don't. That's fair.
You need a little excitement in your life. You know what the best thing for a little excitement is?
Can you use a non-trademarked version of it so we can say it on camera?
High protein beef steak. Oh, yeah!
The first thing you need to do is you need to de-the-doll. You understand? De-the-doll. And you need to focus and do a ring shot.
What are there, 5 guys on the field? 10?
I think so. I don't know the sport very well.
Sure. Okay. You find the closest one, you stab him. You find the next closest one, you stab him. Okay. Any of them have the ball?
Yeah, I think like the 4th guy does.
Okay. So you stab the 3rd guy, then you skip the 4th guy, you go stab the 5th one. Okay. Then you take the ball, shoot it in, win the game, and go back and stab him.
Honestly, it makes sense. I didn't know that basketball was so simple.
That's how you win.
If they do foul you in the game, DDT them and your family right through their graves, all right?
DDT my family right through their graves. Have you ever had any like heroic basketball moments?
Well, yeah, I used to dunk.
Yeah?
Yeah, he used to call me the Michael Jordan of ventriloquist dummies.
Channel your inner like Michael Jordan, man. You gotta go down from a tot,
right?
Put the mics on and just go for it.
Just believe.
Go for it. Just believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little MJ, a little Looney Tunes.
A little Space Jam?
Space Jam action, yeah, man. Bring that inner child out and just jump for it. And good luck, man.
Thank you, I appreciate it. Let me ask you this. Do you think the Monstars were robbed?
Yes, yeah, 100%. It was all rigged the entire time.
I agree.
Always smile. Yeah. Always have a good attitude.
I'm gonna try out there. I'm gonna try it. That was surprisingly positive from the Joker. Thank you, positive Joker.
You're so welcome.
You were a delight. Thank you.
Deep down your stomach, stretch your muscles and say,
Ayo, 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 ayo. Ee-da-dee-da-dee-do. Ee-da-dee-da-dee-do. Dedo, 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 dedo. Ee-da-dee-da-dee-do. Ee-da-dee-da-dee-do.
All right.
All right.
how do you feel?
I feel a little better. Thanks, Freddie Mercury. You're the best. Feel good.
If you reach for the stars, you will get them. So just do your best and reach for it. You can't do any better than that.
Man, just look for the highest point and just aim for that and jump up. And when you land, just give me that Ric Flair woo. You should be good.
I'm on it, man.
Woo!
Thank you, brother. Woo!
Make sure you kick a really good field goal and get that home run.
I'm gonna do it.
I know you're going to get it. You are going to touch that ball.
I'm gonna get this.
You're going to go in there and you're going to show everyone well, we're the best team in the league. We're the champions.
Yeah.
No one can beat us. We are gods on that court, and we're the best in the business, hands down. Let's go out there and kick some butt.
Let's do it. I threw out my back. Guys, 2 things that are good news. 1, I feel like I killed that. 2, the NBA is back on 10/22. The Toronto Raptors are opening up the season. The bad news, I don't think I'm gonna make the team because of a back injury I sustained making that jump. You win some, you lose some. Bye, guys.
unbelievably impressive.
You know, Joe, it turns out, might have some hops.
He has them hops. Guys, from a girl who thought until she was 20 years old that jumping meant just lifting your knees up, that was really wild to watch. You should see me jump. I don't leave the ground. It's more just like standing. Let's talk about the trailers. Really? You're tall. You got to be able to have them hops.
You think so?
That's not the case?
No,
All right,
I'm the least athletic person you could possibly be.
Really?
Yes.
I'm shocked with that. All right. Well,
It's not my skill set.
Anyway, that's a good thing that's not what you chose to do to make a living.
Yes, that's true.
So what you did choose is talking about trailers, which we're going to do right about now. So 3 big trailers dropped, guys. Jungle Cruise, Pixar's Onward, and the new Charlie's Angels trailer. Of these 3, not that you have to compare them, but is there one that stands out to you that you liked the best? Let's start with you, Dan.
Not one particularly, because they all looked very, very weird, but also intriguing. So there wasn't one that I'm like, oh, yeah.
Okay. Emma, for you?
They all look very watchable to me. But I think the standout for me is probably Onward, just because, again, as you say, Dan, they all are kind of weird. This one seems the most weird.
That was really weird, yeah.
And I'm into it.
So let's start with that one because it is our second trailer that we've seen for Onward. And the first one gave us a lot less plot.
Yes.
But anybody who had gone to D23 was kind of talking about how they had seen more and that they were like a lot of the phrase "trust me" was coming into play. Trust me, it looks good. Trust me. But based off the first trailer, I didn't feel great. Based off this one, I'm pretty excited because I think the concept of having one day to be with a parent, obviously that touches my soul. To be with somebody who is passed, to be able to spend that day. I almost wonder if I'd rather the movie be that premise as opposed to we have one day to spend with him. It's just his legs now. Like now we have to go find the rest of him. And that be the movie. I almost kind of wish they immediately get him back for the day and how they spend the day.
I don't know. I sort of like the concept though too of like magical creatures like elves, like living in a world where they're not sure like how where like magic is kind of a thing of the past, because that's sort of the impression that I get from it is that they're sort of trying to figure out if they can kind of recapture magic so that they can have that one day with their dad.
Very true.
But yeah, I don't know. I like the character designs, and it seems like from the trailer, I think they're trying to maybe appeal more to children, and I think that the actual film is going to be a little more heart-stabby.
Yeah. Well, we're getting the Pixar double shot next year, so this is one of 2. So it'll be interesting. And
has that ever happened?
It's happened a few times. Good Dinosaur and I want to say maybe
Interesting that Good Dinosaur is the one you remember.
Well, they make so many.
It's the least memorable Pixar movie.
Good Dinosaur and another film came out the same summer. Maybe Finding Dory, perhaps.
Oh, that sounds maybe right.
I don't know. Okay. Anyway, not always a great thing. Sometimes a great thing. But they can sort of experiment with like, maybe this one's more kid aimed, and then because it does seem like the other one is a little more abstract.
Yes.
A little more kind of inside out in that phrase of just like, it's not just a one-line thing.
Yeah.
What's the other Pixar movie?
Was it Soul?
Soul.
Yes, Soul.
That one is the same year. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't mind crying. Just in general.
No.
I don't mind it. And I have a feeling, again, like loss of a parent movies just get to me no matter. So that hope and like the drive to try to get that person back is a super relatable feeling for anybody who's lost anybody before. And I love when Pixar takes these really relatable concepts and then makes them incredibly fantastical and bizarro, and just like they did in Up or in Inside Out or in any of my favorite Pixar movies. So I think I'm going to like this one. And like you, Emma, I like the way they looked. I like the design. Did you feel strongly about the design, Dan?
No, Pixar. That's one of this maybe their biggest strengths is design, and I mean, and the cast is great. It's definitely going to be a heart tugger. Like this one, though, even more than some. This one is like, wow, okay, there's a lot going on here. I'm going to have to.
But I think that this is an important, because I think that's one of the things that Pixar does really well is they don't shy away from having these sort of high concept films framed inside of like a kid-friendly sort of story, but also kind of, I think they have the opportunity here to teach them important lessons about loss, because that is something that we deal with. I mean, obviously that's something that they touch on in Coco, which was, I loved. But I think that, you have an opportunity to kind of explore that in a different way here.
Quick question for you guys. If this was a live action movie and somebody was missing the top half of their body, do you think that could work?
Go ahead, Dan.
I got Weekend at Bernie vibes. So yes.
I kind of was feeling that a little bit.
So yes, I mean, there was literally a movie about a dead body that was walking around
like that.
Well,
and then it became a dance move
until Weekend at Bernie's 2. So I guess I should say I got Weekend at Bernie's 2 vibes. Not Weekend at Bernie's.
No, it's true. That's a very, very fair observation.
So yes, I think it could work.
All right. Well, maybe.
I think it's a different movie if it's live action.
It is a different movie.
It's a comedy. If it's not that there won't be comedy in this, but
can you sue over the design of a wizard staff? Because that is Gandalf's staff.
It's 100% his staff.
That's his staff.
Yeah.
So like, could Warner Brothers be like, hey, you took our staff?
What happens though? Like, what, they get money, or they make Onward change the staff before the movie comes out?
I don't know. Because that was the whole thing with Hangover, was
maybe Warner sold them the staff design.
I missed that with Hangover. What happened?
The face tattoo that Ed Helms got was Mike Tyson's face tattoo, and the artist said that you stole my work, and so they they were saying that like potentially they would have to go in and like paint it out of the movie or digitally alter it, and it was crazy.
What ended up happening?
Dang.
I think they came to some kind of settlement.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know. Like, pay homage. I still don't know when to use which one of those words. But I'm glad that we all like this strange trailer and are looking forward to this movie. Another one that I'm super looking forward to, Charlie's Angels. This trailer.
I feel like this film is coming out very soon, and
November 15th.
Haven't heard a whole. I certainly was aware of its existence, but I feel like I haven't had it marketed at me all that much.
Absolutely agree with you. This was the first time it's like in a big way been on my radar, which is strange because I'm a really large Charlie's Angels fan. Obviously know the cast and have been excited about the movie because it is more of a concept. But do you think, Dan, that they have not been marketing it as much because they're living off the Charlie's Angels name, just hoping people will show up because it's a Charlie's Angels film?
Maybe. We're also coming to the end of the summer season, and you have so many priorities as far as what you're marketing. But
this is 1 month away.
Yeah, I feel like this is not something they can do a long market on. I mean, they had a teaser that came out, I think, a few months ago. But I think this is sometimes you can sell a movie like an Onward or an Avengers movie or whatever 6 months out. This is, I think, one that you have to do shorter because it's just not going to have. There were successful movies, 15, 20 years ago in the TV show, but you're going to have to sell this, I think. It's a short-term play as far as getting people in the theater.
What are Miley Cyrus and Ariana Grande doing in the movie? That was unclear.
I'm not 100%, but they're certainly in it.
I think they're in disguise.
What do you mean?
Wait, do you think they're playing themselves?
I don't know, but in the first one, I believe that Drew Barrymore was disguised as LL Cool J.
Oh, yes.
So I think it's the three angels in disguise. They're undercover. It's like a Mission Impossible situation.
I mean, that is phenomenal.
Good theory, Dan.
I'm sorry that I'm just not hip enough. Who's the one that is not Ariana or Miley? Do we know?
Ryan.
There's a picture on the screen right now.
People at this table.
Ariana, Miley, and probably some other pop star that I am.
Selena Gomez? Oh, wait.
No. There's another pop
Selena
star.
Gomez? No way.
People are screaming.
They're yelling in the comments right now. You probably don't even need to Google it, Ryan. Just look at the chat.
If it makes you guys feel any better, I like Ariana's hairstyle and I copy it all the time. So I am young. Thank you.
Lana Del
Rey.
Oh, okay. Wait.
She was playing at the Hollywood Bowl last night.
Just to be clear, I do know one of her songs.
Oh, yeah, I like her music. I guess I just didn't know what her face looked like.
Right, Dan? Sing along. It's something like that, seriously. Well, she's very talented, and I'm sorry for not knowing her face, Lana. I'll never forget it again. So this trailer, did you guys feel like it showed enough about the plot, not enough about it, enough with our our stars.
It showed, Patrick Stewart, so here we go.
So you were into that?
There's two things about this. I'm not really that keyed up for another Charlie's Angels movie, if I'm being honest. There's two things. Number one, anything that Sir Pat Stew is in, up to and including the Emoji Movie, I'm curious about. And then number two is with respect to Naomi Scott and Ella Balinska and Kristen Stewart is intriguing to me because it looks like she's having so much fun.
I know, like, Kristen Stewart wears so many wigs in this trailer.
Yeah.
I love that, though, because she's got that short, badass hair, and then she takes off the wig. Like, she's wearing the wigs to try to be, like, the classic beauty and disguise people, and then she takes it off, and she looks even doper. Like, she had a good vibe in this.
Trailer, but it looks like she's on a different wavelength, and like, maybe a weird wavelength, and that's what I like. I like somebody that's kind of hitting the offbeats, and so that intrigues me about this.
Yeah, I like Kristen Stewart a lot as an actress, and I really like Naomi Scott. So I think that I'm more interested in the actors who are in the film and seeing what they do with the material than the film itself.
How are you guys feeling about the music? Are we going to get like a Destiny's Child, Charlie's Angels, Come On type vibe, or
with
are we
Ariana Grande, Lana Del Rey, and Miley Cyrus?
Now that we know that was Lana, we were testing you guys.
We totally knew.
Yeah, duh.
Obviously.
Is that what we're thinking is going to happen, or do we think that they're going to go in a different direction with the tone?
I don't know.
I don't know yet.
I only saw the first Charlie's Angels movie, and I've never seen an episode of the TV show. So.
Okay. Yeah.
Damn.
No.
Damn.
Interesting.
It was off the air before I was born. I feel like I'm in a Walton situation.
What's interesting about this is, like, growing up, that kind of was that. Like, this was our kick butt female characters.
But they were also, like, they were kick butt female characters who were also decidedly female. Like, they kept their femininity, but still were totally badass.
Were you Cameron, were you Drew, or were you Lucy?
I think Cameron.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm a Drew Barrymore stan. I love her. Oh, she got
I think Lucy was
a talk show. Did you guys see this yesterday?
Yeah.
Drew Barrymore has a talk show?
Drew Barrymore, yesterday, they announced that she's getting her own morning show.
Amazing.
It's just like all the...
Oh, no, I love Drew Barrymore. I think Lucy was Lucy was who I wanted to be. But, like, if I'm like being realistic with myself.
Dan, which one are you?
I'm totally a Cameron.
Oh my God, I knew it, Dan. You seem like a Cameron. One more trailer to talk about, guys, and that is Jungle Cruise. In general, are you guys excited for this movie before we even talk about the trailer? Because I don't know where you guys stand with the Jungle Cruise.
I'm excited for Emily Blunt as
a
movie star because I think she's great, and then The Rock is being The Rock.
Yeah,
and I loved The Mummy.
Yeah,
so
I kind of got like Mummy vibe from this, like 99 Brendan Fraser Mummy.
Yeah, no, Emily Blunt in the library on the ladder swinging around. I'm like, oh, so she's playing Rachel Weisz. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Whatever, it's fine.
This is also coming out July 24th, which means that I'll definitely see it because it's in the summertime.
Yeah.
And I am ready for like a Jungle Cruise summer movie starring The Rock and Emily Blunt. So I'm there. But this trailer did absolutely nothing for me.
Interesting.
All the stuff from the ride was in there.
Yeah.
The hippo.
Yeah.
I just love that The Rock is the skipper.
We talked about money an awful lot. We even threw out specific numbers, and then she can't swim, which is an interesting premise.
Yes.
Was there any of Jesse Plemons in this show?
I was wondering that.
He's another one. I'll watch him in whatever he's in.
Yeah.
He really is a fascinating actor to me. So
I love Jesse Plemons as well.
Yeah.
I wonder, do you guys think that this could be the next major franchise? Do you think that there could be a Jungle Cruise 2?
Oh, I hope not.
A Jungle Cruise 3? Let me keep going.
Only worked because of Johnny.
Yes.
So
does this work because of The Rock?
I don't think so.
This is my thing, is I think that they stand to make a really fun one-off summer movie, and that's where it should stay.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's Disney, so they will probably try to make a whole franchise out of it.
How much of The Rock in the jungle can you do, though?
I mean, listen,
that's the thing.
Again, back in the jungle with The Rock.
And listen, I really like Jumanji.
Yeah,
me too.
I thought it was super fun, but it does kind of feel like, Dwayne Johnson is just Dwayne Johnson. And he already did this movie.
And it's not jungle movies, but like he also does a ton of disaster movies and kind of can feel like you're in the jungle.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
And I'm a big fan of Dwayne Johnson, but you almost sort of wonder, would it have been more interesting if that character, if the skipper was somebody else?
Yeah, I kind of think so,
You
possibly.
know?
I also feel like I love Emily Blunt. I think she is one of the best female action stars of our time.
Yeah.
She's Live, Die, Repeat. I just think that she's excellent. But I would like to see her take on slightly more like grounded roles. We're watching her kind of turn into this big franchise hit star, and that's cool. And The Rock has done that for himself, but I'm kind of curious what she does if it's a smaller movie with a more emotional beat. And I think she's got chops, so I'd like to see what else she does in the future.
She does. I mean, she's did her Sicarios and even in A Quiet Place. I think
I would agree.
It's a lot of those. I don't know. As far as Emily Blunt goes, I'm all in favor. Like, make that money.
Yeah, that's true too.
Make that money, Emily Blunt, please.
True
she
too.
deserves it. She's undervalued, I think, in a lot of ways. But.
I think the way that The Rock, that is his lane, though. I prefer her in like what you're talking about, the Quiet Place type lane, because she actually does have those kind of chops.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess
it looks. Emma, you had the perfect word for it. It looks watchable.
Yeah, it looks watchable.
And watch it we shall. So we will be talking about Jungle Cruise, Onward, and Charlie's Angels for quite a bit of time, and as Jungle Cruise isn't out for another basically year. So we've got plenty of time here on SJU to talk about that and all the other things. But until Monday, Emma, where can everybody keep up with you?
You can find me on the internet, on Twitter, Instagram, etc. at Emma Fyffe. I also have a website now. It is emmafyffe.com.
And it's awesome.
You can go check it out for examples of my work. Thank you, Ryan.
Hitting that bell. Dan, what about you?
You can find me here later today. I'm a little slow. The fumes aren't the only things making me a little loopy today. I was up very late into the night last night watching El Camino, a Breaking Bad movie.
I haven't seen it yet.
And I will have a review later today right here on Fandom Entertainment.
Can you tease it a little bit?
I can tease, but the review or the movie?
Both.
The review, I will say, we're looking at doing a little more streaming stuff because we haven't reviewed a lot of that, and I feel like it's more and more of a force. So it's the first of what I think is going to be hopefully more reviews regarding streaming, and I'm going to try something a little different, which is because it's such a, it's Netflix, it's a little more accessible to people as far as watching at home. I'm going to try combining non-spoilers and spoilers. So I'm going to review the movie without spoilers. You can watch it if you haven't seen it before, and then I'm going to, a little bit at the end, I think, talk a little bit about my thoughts of the movie with some things that would spoil the film if I were to include them in my original review. So yeah, kind of we're playing around with it a little bit, and I'm excited. So stay tuned later today right here on Fandom Entertainment. We can talk about El Camino, a Breaking Bad movie.
I love that. I'm everywhere at Roxy Striar. Congratulations, guys. We did make it through the show, and my chair is still mostly working. I'm only leaning one foot on the ground, that's that's totally fine. But stick around right now, guys, because we have another epic Joe Starr Comic-Con situation that he's done. The Square Enix Avengers game had a really cool booth at New York Comic Con where fans could play the game. So Joe decided to bother everyone waiting in line to see if they could choose the right Avenger to take on different Avenger level threats. So check that out. Thank you to JT. Thank you to Ryan. We'll see you guys Monday.
We're here at New York Comic Con. People are hanging out. They're playing the game. They're checking out the costumes. But what I want to know is, do people know which Avenger is best for specific types of missions?
Let's go find out.
I'm giving you an Avengers-related situation.
Okay.
You're going to tell me what Avenger you would send to take care of it.
Okay, yeah, sounds good.
Bank robbery.
I think Spider-Man can do that because we've already seen him deal with bank robbers before.
All right, guys, let's wrap this up. It's a school night.
Volcano eruption threatens a city.
Probably Iron Man.
Undead Thanos is back. Full gauntlet.
Cap, I gotta go with my boy Cap.
Doctor Strange.
The local youth center is threatened. The only way to save it is to win a dance competition.
Like in Footloose, the movie?
Exactly like Footloose.
Captain America. I think he's hiding some of those dance moves.
An evil mind god has awakened and is threatening the southern half of the planet's hemisphere.
Thor. That sounds like a Thor thing.
You're 15. You got your learner's permit. Who takes you to the mall parking lot to teach you how to drive?
Nick Fury.
Give me the wheel.
I feel like I need some of that yelling to learn how to do it correctly.
Somebody's drowning in a swimming pool.
Probably Iron Man.
Dinosaurs loose on an island.
Dr. Grant. It's a dinosaur.
Who do you think would be the best Avenger to partner with Dr. Grant?
Maybe Bruce Banner.
I just want to finish my work.
You're at a restaurant, you ordered some pizza. Things you specifically asked to not be put on the pizza are on your pizza. You've told your waiter that you didn't want those things on your pizza. Your waiter, totally being a jerk and ignoring you. What Avenger do you call?
Hawkeye. Just because he's slick, you know, shoot a couple arrows at him, get his attention.
I always wish I have an archer when I'm dealing with an impolite serf. You're locked out of your car.
I gotta use Thor's hammer right there.
About to ask a girl out at summer camp, and the camp bully has dumped my lunch into my lap.
Black Widow.
Black Widow, yeah.
You've got a thing you want to go do, but your mom is forcing you to have family dinner on a Friday instead of letting you go do the thing. What Avenger do you call?
Probably Cap. Ask him for some advice. He's very good at giving advice.
So, you got detention.
You as Dr. Grant, you're having a dream, and there's a talking raptor on an airplane with you. What Avenger do you call?
Alan. Doctor Strange.
It's prom. Your date's here, and your dad's like, wait, baby pictures.
Please don't embarrass me, Dad.
I'd probably get Iron Man for this. Tony Stark can get me out of this.
Tony Stark with the parents has been a popular answer. This dude ate the last donut.
Oh, all of them.
Full team Avengers.
Is that everyone? What, you wanted more?
That wraps it up from the Square Enix Avengers booth. I think we learned a lot, I think we grew a little, and I think we got a little more pumped to be playing this video game. See you guys later. Bye!